You know, if you watched any amount of streaming, forget conventional TV and status sock puppet cable news, that doesn't matter. But if you just watch what's going on there, you will hear the term conspiracy theory all the time. And normally as a pejorative. That's a conspiracy theory. Oh, I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. You know, that's just a conspiracy theory. Is it real or is it a conspiracy theory? Don't give me this conspiracy theory about... And the phrase, has been used with such frequency, such ordinariness. I don't think anybody understands what it means. I know what they mean it to mean. It means crazy. Nobody's talking about a conspiracy. They're talking about you're saying something that's crazy. You're a tinfoil hat lunatic. That's what they mean. But I want to explain a little bit about what it truly is. What is a conspiracy? When does one conspire? And what is the correct and practical and actual use of it correctly? But first, before I get into this, let me tell you one thing. There's a conspiracy going on to keep you from a good night's sleep. That's right, my friends. And you know who's responsible for destroying that? Very simply this. Our good friends at mypillow.com. mypillow.com. These are the best. And their items, what they have, their kit, the pillows, the slippers. I don't know if that makes you sleep well, but the slippers are selling like mad. You can luxuriate your feet. By the way, your feet are 25% of all the bones in your body. Think about that. See how much you learn? So whether it's pillows, percales, toppers, coffee, go to mypillow.com. But use promo code Lionel. Or you can put mypillow.com / which is a solidus or a virgule. Don't say slash. That Guns N' Roses guy. But mypillow.com / Lionel. Go there. You get a free gift. I know it's tautological, so what? So sue me. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. And whenever you see any other promo code, forget it. Don't. They won't help us. You want to help us, right? Good. mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. I've been a lawyer for 40 years. 40 years. Been a prosecutor. And I've defended folks, and I've dealt with the notion of a conspiracy more than you can imagine. There are people in prison who merely conspired. What is a conspiracy? We'll get to the theory later, but what is a conspiracy? Conspiracy, the Latin conspirare, whatever, it means basically to breathe together. It's this unison. And let me just tell you this. Here's the question. Did you act alone, or was it a conspiracy? Now, there are these weird kind of laws called inchoate crimes. They're like attempt and solicitation, and you have these weird things like, accomplices, to aid, abet, counsel, procure, hire, to act as a principal in the first degree. There's the event, and then there's these things around it, these ancillary. So when it comes down to very simply this, you got to ask yourself a question. Did you act alone, or was there a conspiracy? Because what you really mean is when you plan, when you confederate, when you agree, when you act in unison, when you act with someone else. Not merely when you aid and abet, but when you're acting in unison. We normally talk about conspiracy in terms of historical assassinations, terrible moments in history. When you ask, was there a lone gunman? Did he act alone? Or was there part of a conspiracy? Two or more guilty people. Two or more people who confederate, who work together. January 6th, seditious conspiracy of two or more people. Interesting when it comes to the notion of conspiracies. In some states, in some jurisdictions, you cannot conspire with a police officer, meaning that they will, sometimes a police officer will say, so, You want to bring in that big heroin shipment? Yeah, okay, maybe. Great. You're under arrest for conspiracy. Well, in some jurisdictions, they say no, it's got to be two guilty people because you can't conspire with a cop. The cop wasn't going to be, I mean, maybe you could, but in this case, you can't be prosecuted for conspiring with a cop. It's got to be two guilty people. But all it means is more than one. And the conspiracy can be just you and me agreeing. It's kind of like Catholic Church. In the old days, they would say, you don't even have to do the sin, just think it. And you've done it. See how that works? It's fascinating, is it not? I think so. So that's when you say, is this a conspiracy theory? Now, years ago, and you can read this on your own, many people thought, and this is the theory. It might be a good idea to kind of weaponize this, Right around the time of the Warren Commission, people were really, all of a sudden afterwards, this is 1967 we found out, but it wasn't really until Geraldo Rivera in the 70s when people saw the Zapruder film and people said, hey, wait a minute. So when people started to question the official account of something, as is the case, it has been posited that one of the best ways to address a situation where too many people are asking the wrong question, or asking embarrassing questions, or asking questions that are right on, or maybe crazy. One of the best ways is, rather than deal with the particular facts of the allegations made, but you just dismiss it as being crazy. You're crazy. What is this? It's a conspiracy. All these conspiracies. And we've been doing it for the longest time. Gaslighting. You believe me or your lying eyes? Are you suggesting? Think about this. Husbands cheating on their wives. The wife says, are you cheating? There you go again. You've got this suspicious mind. You're crazy. Which is kind of what this is. You're not denying it. You're just calling me crazy. Well, I don't deny it, but you're crazy. You're nuts. You're a lunatic. Are you bringing that up again? There you go again. One of these crazy conspiracy theories. And it works. But here is the thing. You can, and listen to me carefully. You can be crazy. You can be a crazy conspiracy theorist. You can have crazy conspiracies. Or theories of conspiracies. But having an allegation of a conspiracy, having a theory as to a conspiracy, does not necessarily make you crazy. The other day we were talking to somebody and they were suggesting there were some people who were charged with January 6th, the notion of, they were asking if indeed this was seditious conspiracy, one of those crazy conspiracy theories. No, that's the name of the statute. It's called seditious conspiracy. Yeah, but it's one of those conspiracy theories. Yes, it is. Oh, so it's okay. So this conspiracy theory you like? Yes, because it's you see? So you've got to be careful. The word has been used with such frequency and such overuse that people have confused the idea that some theories might be indeed daft, or individuals might be, but there's nothing in and of itself crazy about the notion of conspiracy. It is a law. It is on the books. There were dry conspiracies, meaning you could be on the phone talking to somebody, planning on the importation and the bringing in the distribution of drugs when there was never any drugs found. It was just merely talking. You and me just talking. That's a dry conspiracy. Nothing ever, they didn't find anything. We were just talking about it. In fact, years ago, you're going to love this. Years ago, they said, how did they do this? That some of the marijuana importation charges, if somebody brings in a plant or plans to harvest or plant or is in possession of seeds or something, they would extrapolate how many plants that would turn into. And if you take that particular amount of plants, that particular acreage, times the poundage per plant, you're looking at conspiring to import tons of. It's like, wait a minute, what? This was a rather grandiose and a rather fecund imagination when it comes to this. So let me explain something. Sometimes when people use a conspiracy theory, they use it incorrectly. For example, sometimes if the government is lying to you about something, if you think, for example, in the old days when the government said the Gulf of Tonkin event was real, and other people said, no, it wasn't real, it was contrived. There you go again with a conspiracy theory. Now you would say, no, who's conspiring with whom? You're just saying it's wrong or it's a lie. The conspiracy means you're working with somebody else. For example, the classic question would be, did Lee Harvey Oswald act by himself or was it a conspiracy? See, did he confederate with two or more guilty people? But conspiracy theory doesn't just mean you deny the government's account of something or you deny that something occurred. Somebody said recently one time, I think all of the allegations of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church were manufactured. Oh, is that a conspiracy theory? Wait a minute, who's conspiring? What, you mean the priests are conspiring? No. They just mean, because of the use of this term has been used with such frequency, they just meant to say you're full of prunes, you don't know what you're talking about, and that has been transmuted into that's a conspiracy theory. No, unless there is a conspiracy, a group of people confederating, planning, agreeing to perpetuate a lie, then it's a conspiracy. But just because somebody's lying to you, or if the government said, for example, Mr. Nixon, did you authorize a break-in? No, I don't believe that. Oh, another conspiracy theory? Well, that would have been a conspiracy theory, but Nixon's denial is just was a denial. It just, no, that word has been, again, transmuted, transmogrified, it has been part of this weird concatenation of the, ideology, whatever you want to call it, of definition. So very simply this. Conspiracies agree, or exist rather, and they agree. And it is an agreement, a confederation, an idea between two or more guilty people to effectuate something which is secret or improper, or illegal, or what have you. That's it. And a theory as to how a conspiracy might be occurred, that's a conspiracy theory. But it is not tantamount, it is not the same as you saying, that's crazy. There's a word for that, and the word is crazy. Does that make any sense? Good. Use the right terminology. Now also make sure you go to our good friends, mypillow.com, promo code Lionel. And please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please make sure you hit that little bell so you'll be notified of new streams and new videos. And whatever you do, I beg, importune, I ask you to comment as you see fit.